Greetings, 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 sisters and brothers. This is Deanne coming at you from, I want to say, hot, sunny Phoenix, but it's not so hot or sunny today. We had a turn of events with our weather system, and we're getting some much needed rain. We definitely need that. As a desert, as you probably already know, it's going to be dry most of the time throughout the year. And so it's really nice. We had rain. We've had rain for about the past 3 days off and on. And we're expecting more rain later on this week and including tomorrow. So it's kind of exciting times because when you live in the desert, rain is just like a joy. You never hear anyone complaining about rain because we theoretically have sunshine, blue skies over 300 days a year. So when you have a change in that weather pattern, it's really delightful. It's really, really delightful. Now, if I were living in New York, rain, could have maybe 3 or 4 days nonstop rain. But this is what we're having now. But it's going to be sunshine, blue sky before you know it. So we're going to hang on tight until that moment. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I got a lot of stuff done, including I went to the gym today, the LA Fitness, and I had a good workout. It wasn't too many people there. I guess it's the football season, and um, people are staying focused on that weather uh, and not able to go out until the game goes off. So that was my day. I had other eventful opportunities this evening. So all is well. All is well. I hope it is well in your world. And let me go ahead and read this is my fair use disclaimer. But before I do that, please like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. The Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. Okay, so I want to go into a couple of other things that I watched this weekend. And so let me just read my fair use disclaimer. All right. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute, which may otherwise be infringing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get that out the way. And so let's talk about it. I had my contractor over yesterday, so he was kind of busy upstairs, downstairs, doing certain things, blah, blah, blah. So I had it on kind of a backdrop, but I was trying to watch it. He was engaging with me and talking to me about certain things and blah, blah. And, I watched Tiger, which is about the story of Tiger Woods. Like an abbreviated version. I guess it was maybe 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, like two parts. And so he is amazing talent. He was really groomed and by his father, and like an amazing story. Even though he got caught up in a couple of things, I don't want to go into all of that. That's not my topic tonight. But it was pretty fascinating because in 2019, I believe he won some tournament. I don't know which one. I don't want to misspeak, but he literally is said he was done, and they said he was done because of everything that he went through, before the divorce, during the divorce, after the divorce, da da da, blah blah blah. But he turned around. Um, so that was for the better. And I know he probably did not do well. No one does well. Let me just say that when a parent passes, and his father really groomed him from the very very beginning, the very 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 beginning. And he noticed a talent. It was probably his ego too, but he noticed, a talent in his son. And Tiger Woods is a gazillionaire, because of the steps and things that his father did. And, towards the end of his life, the father's life, it seems like Tiger got another manager, and things kind of went south theoretically, and then they turned around. But I don't know if he was a little bit less involved with his father as he was aging, and then also with illness. So that's what he probably needs to work out when and if he meets the um, the spiritual realm of existence, and perhaps that will be the opportunity for him to do so. Yes, I watched it. It was pretty good. Like I said, a few interruptions, but I had got the gist of it. And he surrounded himself, or his father surrounded himself with um, women. I guess he felt, the light of the berry, this the well, anyway, I don't want to mix on words, but he literally he didn't have any women of color or black women in his immediate circle. As you can imagine, golf is not our go-to, our things necessarily. So he was around, a lot of women, and his father was too around, a lot of women. And I think that was to the demise of his marriage to Tiger's mother. And so, but it's a pretty fascinating story. I won't go too deep into it, but it was pretty fascinating. And if you need some encouragement on things, that's pretty much a good story to watch, because he quote unquote came from nothing. He clearly had a talent. His father groomed him and groomed him and groomed him, maybe to a fault. He lived and breathed nothing but golf, nothing but golf. So, um, yeah. Anyway, it was a fascinating story. So let's get into the topic at hand. And I wanted to, first of all, um, talk about my book on the melanin diet. And so I have I made a, now this isn't the copy you will get when you buy it, but I made some photographic copies, and, if I want to send them out, blah, blah, blah. I have the other version, which is bound, but it's a really good read. I will, like, if I must say so myself. I was just reading over the introduction very briefly before I came on tonight, and I wanted to just go into a few things, not so much reading um, the book. I want you to get a copy from Amazon until I think next month I'm going to meet with a couple of people, and we're going to get it on my website. So I have several chapters, and the first chapter is the sun. The sun. The sun is we're from the sun. We're kissed by the sun. And so there are many moving parts with that, being kissed by the sun or sun kiss, as some would say. But yeah, I think that's our bread and butter, if you will, in our lives, in this DNA configuration that we call a human, HUEMAN. So, without going into word by word by word by word on the chapter, the sun, I will just highlight a few things. And first of all, we require the sun. The sun is a part of us as we are part of it. We could not exist without sunshine. We could not exist. We could exist, but it would be a dismal existence because the sun, we're fed by the sun, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, in all areas. Because excuse me, in regions that melanated people are living in, let's just say Seattle. I've been to Seattle several years ago. I have a relative out there, and clearly they have about 100 days of sunshine, which is about a quarter of what we get, or 33% of what we get. We get sunshine, I'm going to say 300 days a year out of 365. So that's probably a moderate estimate. I think it's a little bit more than that. But clearly, I went to Seattle some years ago, and folks were kind of dancing in the streets because they had like 3 or 4 days of sunshine, consecutively. I hadn't lived out here, and this was before I came out here the first time in 2007. This was the very first time I moved out to Phoenix, but clearly this is the thing. We see and feel and need and crave sunshine. Our body could probably just like, oh my gosh, just the depression level, because the sun is cosmic, is cosmic. Um, it's energetic. I mean, it's all powerful. It's all knowing. It's all seeing eye. The eye. So we must have sunshine in our lives, preferably 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times a week, which when we're not in this rainy season or raining right now, we get sunshine every day. It's not a day I wake up and I don't see the sun. Chances are. Okay. So if you want to plan any type of wedding or this or that, this is the outside of the heat. You can guarantee it will be sunshine. So with that said, um, going into some of the particulars of the sun, first of all, we should not work at night. Nighttime is for sleeping or getting busy, that kind of thing. But clearly, our body is not designed for working at night. We should be, evening, relaxing, reading a book, meditating, going into the kingdoms, wherever you would like to go into that all seeing eye, and, just bring in that energy, that essence of your purpose for this lifetime. And so that's where we should be in the evening, not working, not punching a clock at 12 o'clock midnight, work till 7, 8 o'clock. This is not what we recommend. The Mielanin report 360, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. But this isn't what we are here to do, is work graveyard shift. That's what they call graveyard shift. Whenever you see that, that's why you're working midnight to 7 or 8. Not a good thing. Um, so adjust that if you need to, but this is not what we need to do as a melanated people. As melanated people, we need to live in divinity. Our consciousness, our spirituality is all in divine essence of who we are. And so working at night or working at all, um, that's debatable. But if we have to, perhaps I worked a few years. I'll go back some years ago, some years ago. I worked second shift. I worked at a laboratory, and I had to go in 3:30 p.m. and I worked until 11. Excuse me, 11 o'clock, 11:30 p.m. So because I would have a busy morning, and then go into work, I was, pretty much tired. When I got home, I took a shower and I went to bed. I can be in the bed probably by 12:30, with a moderate commute. So I say that to say that is the only time, yeah, in my life that I worked that shift, and that was like maybe 2 or 3 years. So ideally, you know, work at daylight, daylight, daylight. So the other thing I want to point out is our temperament. When we are living in accordance with the Most High, our ancestors, we're eating properly, we are drinking a lot of water, and we know that formula, amongst other things, will yield a beautiful, healthy life, especially with what's going on right now. And I was sorry to hear about the passing of our beloved brother and elder. Um, he was my mother's age. He was Hank Aaron. So yeah, he passed on. I think Friday or Saturday. And so that was, and then also Larry King. I thought he was already passed on, but that's my era. So I thought he was already, going to the other side. But yeah, we have to keep in mind our divinity, our consciousness. And with that, there's certain things it's not going to come into our consciousness to do. So, along with eating properly. So, we're going to go into this another time, but our food intake, our elimination, um, they should be hand in hand. If you have 2 meals, or 2 or 3 meals a day, you should have 2 or 3 bowel movements per day. And so when we are in the sunshine, when the sunshine is all around us and we're eating well, we're eating properly, nothing else can happen, you know. And just touch on a few topics in this chapter. Yeah, because we live in a society that moves fast, like very quickly, erratic, um, very toxic, if you will. Driving, people cutting me off. I'm in a little Prius, so I guess they feel they should just cut in front of me. But we don't have too much road rage, although there was a person, I think they said something on the news. I try to watch it very minimal, but it was perhaps someone lost control of the vehicle and they got killed. Essentially, they got killed. And, road rage, you hear about it once in a while. I'm not trying to say it doesn't happen, but it's moderate. I think low to moderate. But our temperament when we're eating properly and we're in the sunshine, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing because we're in alignment with our mind, body, and spirit. And so when all of that's in alignment, we're eating properly. We're perhaps taking supplements, which I do every day. I don't take for granted any of my health and wellness because I know that supplementation, we don't get everything. Even in a perfect diet, we don't have any of the minerals. They would deplete it, the soil, etc. So we need to do our part to supplement. That's why they call supplements, because they know they're depleting our soil, and then the herbs grow, the vegetables grow, and it's just, even if you eat, you know, raw, even if you eat, I'd say right now I'm probably doing maybe 5% fish, once in a while poultry, like once a month. I can't say I eat it more than that. And then twice a month, my yeah, I eat fish. I eat fish, and there's so many vegetable, no soy burgers and all that, and they're really healthy. A little bit of olive oil in a pan, couple of minutes on both sides, done, one and done. So we have healthy choices now, and we have to include that in our wellness formula. Our wellness formula should be a certain amount of nutrients, a healthy diet, little to no meat. If you need to have meat, I'm a O positive. So O positive, in a book I've read, we're like quote unquote the oldest blood type. So we can have an array of meats. I don't choose to do that. I think chicken and fish, about once or twice a month. That's plenty for me. Vegetables, nuts. I eat apples every day. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. So I eat an apple a day. I have right now. I'm in a cashew frenzy. I got cashews, all weekend. I just went to eat cashews. That was my go-to this weekend. I just got some today, and I got some more today. So yeah, we can eat an array of foods, and chances are our health will be maintained. We drink plenty of water. We sit out in the sun. If you don't have sun every day, I would say when you do have sun, just charge your battery. This is a battery. This, I'd say 6 feet out. This is your battery. So don't do anything harmful to your battery because your battery will live long. It won't have disease. It won't have aches, pains. It won't have you'll have plenty of ability to move around. Other than this mixed gray, I contemplated cutting it off and coloring it orange or something crazy. um I've thought about it. Right now I'm just rocking it. Yeah, I'm rocking it. So yeah, so let's eat well and go back to the sun. Something so simple, yet so fantastic for melanated people. So don't shy away from the sun. I remember I was working at a health food store, and this brother came in, and he's a little bit younger than me. He was probably at that time 30s, early 40s, and he was so concerned about getting the what is it called? I don't even know the name. The sunblock, things to keep from getting skin cancer. So we have UV rays. They protect us from ultraviolet. So that's a protection in melanin. So that's, one of the many layers in melanin. And so we don't have to be so concerned. That's not our Achilles heel. It's not our, oh, let's avoid the sun. The sun is just to be in the sun, it's just lovely, so lovely, so lovely. So let's not adopt the thoughts and beliefs of our um, the other folks on the less melanated people. I'll say that's not our reality. We should not adopt something that is not ours. It's definitely not our um, bone to pick or bear or anything, whatever wording you want to use. But that's not our Achilles heel. We need to bathe in the sun. We need to wallow in the sun. When the sun comes out, people are happier because it raises the serotonin. It's just a positive. If we didn't have the sun, just imagine not having the sun. So at this point, we don't want to avoid the sun. I'm not encouraging um, sun beds, I guess that's solar beds or whatever they call them. That's not we don't have to do that. Um, 20, 30 minutes in the sun. The melanin is the protector. You have to, put your stuff with all these chemicals, which is horrible. So don't do that. Don't interrupt this beauty. I mean, I will say something. People may get a little upset with me, but I will go out there on a limb. Why do people, I'm just asking, why are they so with tattoos? We have a living, beautiful tattoo. This is our tattoo. Melanin is our tattoo. It's from head to toe. So, I mean, to each his own. But I wonder, like, what's behind it? I think with the Caucasian mindset, perhaps they lack color, and so the only way they can get color is to do a tattoo. That could be stretching. I give that, but this is in my mind. I went to LA Fitness today, and I was amazed at like how many people had bare arms. It just seems like so few and far between. So we can honor our melanin. Don't cover it up with a tattoo. This is our beauty. It's our beauty. This is who we are. So don't distort your goddess self, your God self. I mean, if anything, lift it up to the heavens, lift it up to the ancestors to know that we should not harm our melanin, injecting dye. Who does that? But I don't want to go too far on that topic. I know I have a lot of friends that have tattoos. Yeah, I question the purpose of tattoos. I I believe they don't have color, and so there's a good way to get color. You don't want to see their colorless arms, etc. But that's the way to get color, if you will. So I just didn't really go too much in the melanin. I just talked about some other stuff with the book. Um, Melanin the melanin diet. So I'm going to go into a little bit more tomorrow. Not only the book, but some other things that um, will be a little bit more challenging in the weeks and months to come, because I believe there's going to be a rollout um, of some kind on travel. Probably not right now with the new administration, but probably soon. So I'm crossing my fingers, dotting my I's, crossing my T's. I don't want it to have a restriction for travel, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Um, I think the new president has, put in a lot of executive orders. Obviously, he was kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired, and he saw a lot of things that could happen much better on our behalf, um, the people's behalf. So now he's trying to play catch up. So let's just see what happens. I'm gonna give him the first 100 days, and the only other thing I want to say is let's wait and see. Write your legislation, write your governors, write your Congress people, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So we can't, emphasize that enough. So make sure you're doing put what is it, a stamp is 55%? Oh, 55-cent stamp. So, just let people know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. If it's reparations, you're thinking and feeling, put that in the letter. If it's not reparations, put that in a letter. But this is the time, because I think this administration, after all is said and done, I think the number of letters that can come in, I think emails, I'm a letter person. So let's try and go old school. Just flood the inbox with letters. Letter. It takes a lot of time to write a letter, put a stamp on it. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And so we're going to continue this work on my book, the Melanin Report. I mean, the Melanin Diet. The Melanin Diet. And I've had a lot of orders over the weekend, and so thank the ancestors for that. And yeah, we pick up steam. We have a lot of book sales, but then not, and then we have a lot of big sales. So it kind of ebbs and flows. We're so grateful for all of that. So um, just make sure you subscribe to my channel, The Melanin Report 360, The Melanin Report 360, The Melanin Report 360. I am Deanne, and I have a book, The Melanin Diet, and it's available on Amazon. If you'd like to go to Amazon and order it, much appreciated. So have a wonderful evening. I went into a little bit more than some of my book, but that's going to be the theme for this week. Some of the updates across the nation. So we'll do that a little bit, and then maybe go into another chapter or continue with the sun, SUN, Ra, also known as Ra. which is sun. So, many, many, many names, but all the same energy. And the sun is so powerful and so awesome and so beautiful. And we're kissed by the sun. That's what we are. Sun kiss. Sun kiss. And I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my favorite bands of all time. Um, I mean all time. And that is Incognito. And they have probably 10 or 15 songs I'm thinking right now about sun, about the sun. I would play something, but I don't want to go into. But anyway, maybe I'll read again the fair use disclaimer and I can give you a little passage of a song, excuse me, that Bluey, that's the lead um, person he plays so many instruments and I've seen them so many times in Atlanta and oh, so yeah, he's awesome, 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 awesome. So stay tuned for tomorrow. We will dive into again the Melanin diet, the book, my book, and some maybe current events, what's going on in the world and locally. And be blessed, stay well, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right. And have a wonderful, safe, beautiful night. Peace.